Okay, let's dive right into this explainer by picturing a hyper-relatable scenario. I mean, literally imagine it's 2 a.m. The house is completely silent, but inside your head, well, things are loud. Your life feels like it's quietly falling apart. Maybe your relationship just ended, maybe you're facing a massive career change, or honestly, maybe the world just feels overwhelmingly uncertain right now. And then, instead of sleeping, or, crying, you suddenly feel this overwhelming, completely illogical urge to go organize your sock drawer. Or maybe you find yourself scrubbing the kitchen grout with a toothbrush. It feels totally random, right? But as you'll see today, it's actually anything but.
Now, you might look at a pile of aggressively color-coded t-shirts and think, okay, I'm just procrastinating, or maybe even going a little crazy. But what's really interesting here is that this urgent need to deeply, obsessively clean isn't a coincidence, and it's definitely not a character flaw. It's actually your brain executing an ancient, highly evolved survival protocol. When the big things in life go completely off the rails, your brain basically flips a switch.
Let's move into Section 1, the science of control.
So, it all comes down to a very basic human wire. We are fundamentally driven to seek control. When we feel a loss of control in the outside world, our amygdala, which is basically our brain's threat detection center, starts sounding the alarm. To quiet that alarm, we rely on what psychologists call compensatory control. Psychologist Christopher Napolitano's research highlights this perfectly. Since you literally can't control a breakup, a bad medical diagnosis, or a crashing economy, your brain actively seeks out a domain where you can exercise control. Your immediate physical environment becomes the battlefield where you win back your agency. You might not be able to fix your life overnight, but you can absolutely conquer that mess on your bookshelf. And that small victory matters enormously to your nervous system.
But it's not just about control. It's also about emotional regulation. When you're totally overwhelmed with grief or anxiety, your body is just flooded with stress hormones, and all that nervous energy desperately needs somewhere to go. Repetitive physical tasks like scrubbing, folding, or sweeping provide exactly that outlet. These rhythmic, predictable motions actually activate what neuroscientists call the default mode network in your brain. This brings about a state of calm, reflective processing. It's essentially meditation with a mop. Your body is quite literally finding a physical way to process the unprocessable.
I absolutely love how research published in the journal Mindfulness proves this isn't just a distraction, it's actual physiological self-regulation. The researchers looked at people washing dishes. They found that when people wash dishes mindfully, like really focusing on the sensation of the warm water on their skin, noticing the scent of the soap, feeling the physical texture of the plates, it significantly reduced their nervousness. And not only that, it actually increased their mental inspiration. So the next time you find yourself aggressively doing the dishes after a stressful phone call, know that you are actively regulating your nervous system.
All right, moving on to Section 2, the human nesting instinct.
Biologists and anthropologists actually have a term for this, nesting. We usually hear about this in relation to pregnancy, but as Dr. Marla Anderson's research at McMaster University shows, this instinct isn't just hormonal. It's a fundamental, ancient response to an approaching life storm. Think about a bird building a nest, or an animal preparing for winter. When a massive transition is coming, we instinctively restructure our environment. We are creating a sanctuary. It's our profound way of building a safe base, a physical reminder that basically says, no matter what unknown future is coming at me, this space is mine and this space is safe.
Which brings us to Section 3, coping versus avoidance.
Now we have to look at the somewhat uncomfortable shadow side of this, because there's a very thin clinical line between two different psychological states here. Clinical psychologists distinguish between adaptive coping and maladaptive avoidance. Adaptive coping is when you clean to temporarily calm your nervous system, lower your distress, and restore your sense of control so that you can then go face the problem. Maladaptive avoidance, on the other hand, that's when the cleaning becomes a way to never confront the actual problem. It's the difference between saying, I cleaned to calm down so I can handle this, versus I cleaned obsessively instead of handling this.
And this requires some radical honesty with ourselves. If you notice that your cleaning only intensifies as the crisis grows, like if a room is already spotless but you're scrubbing it for the third time while blatantly ignoring unread emails or missed phone calls, I have to ask, are you using bleach to try and scrub away a chaos that's actually trapped inside you? Because let's be real, no amount of surface cleaner is going to reach the anxiety that lives in your mind.
Let's dive into Section 4, the room as a mirror.
Psychoanalysts like Carl Jung have long understood that our external environment is often a direct mirror of our internal state.
A cluttered room is rarely just a cluttered room, you know? It reflects a cluttered mind. Jung actually believed that the home is a symbol of the psyche itself, with different rooms representing different aspects of the self. The bedroom is intimacy, the kitchen is nourishment, the study is intellect. This means that when we frantically clean and reorganize our home during a crisis, we aren't just doing chores. We're unconsciously attempting to reorder our inner world and our fractured psyche.
And this totally aligns with Marie Kondo's philosophy. When you are going through your closet during a major life upheaval, aggressively deciding what stays and what goes, you're doing something much deeper than organizing. You are confronting yourself. Every single item you choose to keep or discard right now is a profound act of self-definition. In the midst of a crisis where your identity might feel threatened, editing your belongings is actually a super powerful way of editing your identity and deciding who you are going to be on the other side of this storm.
Which brings us to Section 5, the crisis cleaning ritual.
Okay, so how do we actually take back control? Psychologists recommend using this energy deliberately through what's called the 3-step crisis cleaning ritual. Let's walk through it together. Step 1. Clean with awareness. As you organize, name your feelings out loud or in your head. Say, I am anxious about this job interview. Pair the physical act with emotional acknowledgement. Step 2. Set a firm time boundary. Give yourself 1 hour maximum. When that timer goes off, you stop cleaning, sit down, and write out what you are actually afraid of. Bring the insight inward. Step 3. Make one real decision. Use that freshly restored sense of control to do one tangible thing about your actual crisis. Send one email, start one conversation, make a plan. Just use that momentum.
To wrap up this explainer, I want you to remember the beautiful, stubborn resilience of the human mind. Finding a way to cope, one clean surface at a time, is a profoundly human trait. Your room is not your life, but how you treat your space during hard moments tells you something very real about yourself. Honor that instinct. But I want to leave you with this final, absolutely vital question. Once your room is finally spotless and your nervous system is calm, are you brave enough to step out of that perfectly clean room and face the real mess waiting for you in the world? Use your sanctuary for sure, but then go face what actually needs your attention.
Subscribe to Missing Layer right now, because once you understand how your mind actually works, you stop fighting yourself and start working with it. Please like and share this video, and I will see you in the next one.